first?
Yeah.
Headache City. Oh, man. Any more scripture? Job, forger, blah.
Yeah, it's good.
Shalom, Israel. We'd like to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahawah,
BaHaSham,
Yahawashi, BaHaSham,
Qadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of GreatMillStone, and shalom to like I did, doing this work of faith, and labor love and true sincerity. I with brothers Jim and Soldiers of Faith, New Jersey, here with the weekly sit down, and they really an open forum, but getting into Esau being a forger of lies, as the scriptures say.
Yep, this is Job chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value.
Right, because, we know the essence of the core of the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Devil simply meaning deceiver. So if you're the top deceiver of the earth, that means you're nothing but a lie, man. Everything that they do is based upon lies, man. That's why they don't have a solid foundation. This is why every time we speak truth, or that anyone out there actually speaks some form of truth, they have to be silenced in some sort of way. But the Lord have a hedge around us for, our word not to be completely shut up. They got the censorship and things going on now, but we still, kicking this truth, So there's one out. That was it.
That's the point, yeah. I can bring out Psalms chapter 10, verse 7. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor.
Yeah, and because it's this book that I was just watching the interview with Kwame and the other ex-basketball player. I keep forgetting his name because he changed his name. That's what made me forget. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Okay. And he mentioned this book. He mentioned this book entitled "The White Architects of Black Education." And in that book, he said that pretty much one way how they use things to control us during slavery was they said that pretty much words have to be just as powerful as the gun, or language has to be just as powerful as the gun. Right. So you know what I'm saying? Knowing that, what's that telling you? What that language, how they formulate things, the way they use words ambiguously. This is the most bastardized language upon the face of the earth. Because Esau could say one word, but it could mean a plethora of different things. Nothing about this language is front and direct. This is why they have all these constitutional amendments and all these different things, 1,000 pages long, just a bunch of mumbo jumbo for them to be able to tweak the laws later on down the line. Yeah. As soon as Jay comes into some sort of power, and then now you got to change this law or change that law, or this doesn't equate to this or this doesn't equate to that, man. So the devil is always in the details, how they say,
Yeah, yeah. That goes into Psalm 64, and they wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows and shoot their arrows even in bitter words. Because those words are even more powerful than the weapons. Because if you control somebody psychologically with your words, it's even better than taking them over physically, because you can use them as a tool. Use them as an attack dog, so to speak. Like, for the most part, when this whole big push of getting everybody, administered according to their will, a lot of people aren't going to have to be taken by force. They're going to be taken by their peers, and the pressure of what they put out in the media and the propaganda. Everybody's gonna believe it, and everybody's gonna and your peers are gonna force you to do. They ain't even got to do anything. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It goes to show how powerful the tongue is.
Yeah, like there's still that outward man. Like the scriptures say that the outward man perishes, but the inward man is renewed day by day. They're still that outward man. And I remember even in high school, they peer pressure you into going to college. You know, and if you didn't, you looked at like you ain't gonna be shit, man.
Right.
And everybody's talking about you, and you looked at it as a clown and as a joke. So now imagine taking that same energy, and you ain't taking a jab. They're gonna look at you in the same way. And being as how you still that outward man, you're gonna fall a victim to that, man. When they start to threaten your jobs, you know, and so forth, man. So that peer pressure is gonna come back, and that's just a tactic of Esau, man, to try and scare you into going according to his will, man. You know, he's going into that intent. How it says, be not afraid of sudden fear.
Yeah.
So Esau is going to use that against you.
Right. So reading Psalms 10 and 8, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones.
Right, and how do we catch us in the net? You know, like how brother's saying, that the propaganda, the media. We know that, you know, the so-called Jews, they own 96% of the media.
Yep.
And it's the top big 6 big corporations like BaHaSham and things like that really own and control everything. So everything coming down that line of media is nothing but the trickle down effect of their power structure, man, all throughout the earth, man. Yeah. You know, this is why people have to be more in tune. Well, alternative news. We're considered alternative news to Esau, man. They don't really consider us significant. We're considered alternative news, fake news, whatever you want to call it, man. Yeah. You know, but this is the real truth, man. If you really want the truth, you can't go to those major outlets for it. They're only going to give you as fluff and a song and a dance. How long have you, you know, being younger, you saying either your mom or your father or your grandparents or your aunts or somebody sitting there watching Channel 7, watching Channel 9, watching Channel 11 news, and they don't talk about nothing but a damn cat being stuck in a damn tree, man. Right. You ain't getting no real information that way, man. That's the fluff that they just throw in front of your face so you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. But we here to tell you what's going on behind the scenes. And if you don't wake up, you're going to get caught up in the storm, man, that the Most High about to bring upon this place, man.
Yeah, the price of everything is going up, but then when you click on the news, look at this gerbil skiing. Some stupid shit, man. Like, come on, man. Yeah. You know? And people are waking up to that too. That's why the ratings are getting low as hell. Yeah. And that's why the censorship is going to pick up even more so. You know, because they can't have that. If people are not watching it anymore and not going for it, then they're going to, desperate times call for desperate measures. Yeah. You know, so they pull the plug, and then the only thing that you can watch online is folly, entertainment, and their propaganda, man.
Yeah, the people are waking up, you know, to the news because they're seeing the, you know, YouTube people putting clips together to show you that all news reports they all use the same narrative. You know, they all use the same words. Yeah. So that show you they're pushing an agenda. Right. Instead of covering news as the day go in the city, or the case may be, they are basically told what to say. And when they read that prompt, and it be the same words, it don't make no sense.
All right, real quick, this is James 3 and 5. It says, even so the tongue is a little member and boasts of great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth, and the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. That's Esau, man. Yeah. You know, everything that comes out of his mouth is nothing but blasphemy and iniquity, man. Everything, man. This is how we were talking in camp earlier. They, you know, proclaim to God bless America. Nah, man, God destroy America, man. And Yahawashi destroy America, man. Because everything that they do is against the laws of their Heavenly Father, man. But people want to be free and so-called liberated within a society. Without standards, without morals, what do you have? You have nothing but chaos, man. That's what these scriptures provide. That's what we telling our people to come back to the order and the structure that the Heavenly Father, you know, and His Son provide for us, man. You know, the core, the essence that actually keep the earth in its natural state and beautify so it can live and thrive, man. Yeah. But as long as the so-called white man is in authority, somebody grab that real quick. Proverbs 29:2. Oh, yeah. You know, you got it. Yeah, somebody grab that real quick. But you know, as long as they in power, nothing can ever be right, man. You know.
Yep. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Right, like when you look at when King Solomon was reigning, man, it was peace, man. You know, King David, he brought the ruckus, he brought the war, but hey, King Solomon had the peace upon the earth for his 40-year reign, you know, and you know people would come and pay him tribute and just want to adore him for his wisdom, come get advice, so on and so forth. Things was lovely, man. So now look at the earth since all these other heathen have taken over, man. Nothing. The earth is constantly getting, that's why the earth is decaying, man. Because of these other nations and primarily because of Esau. Doing all the drilling that they're doing upon the earth, you know, taking all of the oil. That's like taking all the cartilage out of your knees, man. You know? The oil is there to lubricate the earth, man. You know? So that everything goes straight, man.
What they call it, the earth core, the in the core or something like that.
The earth,
the crust,
Yeah. Everything is out of shape, man. You know, with the cars and different things like that. If we was in power now, the Lord would have had to where we would have came up with some type of technology that wasn't doing damage or putting pollution up in the Earth's atmosphere, in which we gotta breathe, man. Yeah. And then when it rains, now all that stuff coming down upon us, man. Right.
Yeah, Esau's a big dumbass. Like, there's needful for volcanoes. Yeah. Volcanoes are created to put out whatever it needs to put out of the earth. Yeah. And Esau dumbass will go live there. You know? Right. Yeah. Just like how he pushed these animals out of their habitation because he want to live in their habitat. And then when the animals come in his yard, pow, you know, right. Kill them.
Exactly, like the importance of volcanoes, like you said, because in certain places, like down there in Honduras, because they still have volcanic activity down there. And that's what helps to create those thermal waters, man. You know, and that's what they call healing waters, because that's a natural alkaline water that's in a high nines. That's why how Dr. Sebi used that in the baths to be able to heal people of sores and different things like that, because they were bathed in that water. After 2 or 3 days, they'd be completely healed and stuff. They had sores on them, man. The Lord got everything in His perfect balance, but Esau does everything within his power to destroy the perfect order that the Lord set up, man. That's wicked as hell, man. What type of a damn disease-minded creature are you to want to destroy the very place that you're supposed to inhabit, man?
Yeah, it's the greed too. Because why did they pick fossil fuels anyway? Because it was something that they can control. Now, like if you made, what was that movie with Keanu Reeves? I think it was like Point Blank or something like that, where it came up.
Gross Point Blank.
Yeah, what's it called?
I think that
you know, boiling point, something like that. But yeah, what they did in the movie was they came up with an alternate source of energy, and and Esau wanted to come and bump them off because what? If you come up with an ultimate source of energy, that takes money out of Esau's pocket. You know. Now you talk about clean energy that doesn't affect the environment, doesn't take the oil, because at some point you keep drilling and taking oil out. Eventually it's gonna run out. Yeah. And that's not a good thing, you know. But for alternate thing, kinetic energy, you know, you could have something that kickstarts a rotary engine and uses its own force to make kinetic energy and create power. You could do that. Esau knows that you can do that, but where's the money in that for him?
And you see that his time is running out. He knows it. That's why he wants to go to another planet. You know, because he knows eventually they do the computer simulations. I say it? Simulations. God damn, I don't know why I can't say that word. Yeah. But they do all the calculation ahead of time. You know, they give a diligent search, and they figure, all right, in the next 50 years, we're done. Yeah. So what are we gonna do to avoid this? Well, we need to start doing this. We need to start doing that. You know, because once they run out of oil to take, what you gonna do? You know, let's say if the Lord, that's why the Lord has a boundary that they can't pass, because if Esau could just take over Iran and all that and regulate the eastern side the way he wants to all the way, you know, then he gonna suck the earth until everybody's dead.
Yeah.
You know?
That's actually what that movie, Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey was about. They sent out astronauts out throughout the region to different planets where they suspected that Earth can sustain life at because the planet was dying. And if they don't go to that planet and start, take out whatever cells that they have to create new life on that planet, then the human population was done. They make movies about this because they know why is their doomsday clock set at 11:58, man? At 11:59. You know?
What Esau fails to realize is it's not the place, it's the people. You know?
Yeah.
You mess up the place. Like we always go into how Israel's a people before it's a place.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord gave us the laws, you know what I'm saying, to govern this earth and to make sure it's ran peacefully.
Yeah.
It's not the place that's the problem, it's you.
Right. Definitely.
Esau is like straight up poison because here it is. He sees that he's being compromised through this oil, because he doesn't have it so necessarily freely. He has to trade for it. He has to make people depend upon his petrodollar, when they're trading for, which gives him the upper hand. I remember the news articles going into that. When you want to deal with certain the nations, I think it's OPEC that has the oil. When American is dealing with it, they get it at a fair price than all their competitors, man. Just because they're in control of the petrodollar. But now that people was getting rid of the petrodollar, starting to deal with the petro yuan and stuff like that, and they see that the resources are limited. Now Esau is trying to move over to an electrical, man, an electrical industrial revolution, so to speak, man. Where he wants to stop dealing with oil, and now he wants to deal with everything electric off the 5G. But you think that that's good, but in actuality, that's causing major radiation to everybody, man. So not even your 5G towers is your solution to a better planet Earth, man, because that's even destroying the Earth. So you are not fit to be made in power, man, for longer than you're supposed to be, man, because you are as death. Whether it's through you keep continuously drilling and fracking for the oil, or switching over into this electronical era through your 5G towers, man.
Yeah. This is Isaiah 24:4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. Let me read up 3. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord Yahawashi hath spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish.
Hey, that's going into that 2 Ezra 9, where it speaks about how endings and signs and effects. Now, when you're younger, you could, jump off jump off a curb, you'll be fine. When you get older, you can't do that. Your body aches more. You need more rest.
Right.
Now the earth is telling Esau that, I can't yield. I'm getting older. You sucking me dry.
Yeah.
Even with I know when your body lacks certain minerals, you get, that's when you wake up at night with the trellis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because your body lacks certain minerals. That's why there's earthquakes in diverse places, as the scripture said.
Yeah.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was about to say. That's how the earth is crying out.
Well, a lot of these Edomites, that what's his name? Damn, what's the dude name? Like books like the Pale Horse. What's Maxwell? Jordan Maxwell. He said it a long time ago. He said when you start going against nature, you're gonna find out you're gonna lose. Because they're going against nature. They're going against the natural order of things.
Right.
It's like real quick too. Like here it is. The scriptures speak about the land Sabbath, and that was with ancient agricultural tools, man, with the ox, and setting up different instruments to overturn the land. And the Lord said that even within that, you got to give it rest after the 7th year, man.
Yeah.
So how much more with these huge machines that Esau has, drilling at 10,000 times higher speed than our old ancient agricultural tools used to, man. So it's going very rapidly, man, at a quick pace of depleting resources, man, because you fucking greedy ass Edomites, man. To hell with y'all, man.
It says the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because and really everybody's responsible. But who's the ruler of this earth? The earth was given into the hand of the wicked, which are the Edomites. So it's your fault, So it says because they have transgressed the laws. What's one of the laws? The land Sabbath, like the brother just mentioned. They have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. You know?
Yeah, I got.
And that's why the earth is being destroyed. You got it.
Yeah, I got a quick precept. This is Romans 9 and verse 21. It says, "Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
Yeah.
What if the Most High, willing to show his wrath with and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?" It says, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. So Esau is the wicked. All right. And that's why we tell you that, hey, when you really look into it, it boils down to Jacob and Esau. All right. It goes back to that birthright, you know, and the blessing. And Esau, he's the wicked. He's the vessel of dishonor. And Jacob is the vessel of honor. But the Lord tells you, he says, verse 23, and that he might make known his riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which is Jacob. Starting with the elect. It says, which he had afore prepared unto glory. So this was the Lord's movie. So basically Esau, he can't get right or do right because he was made to do wrong. You are the wicked. And the Lord said, let me just read this again, one sec. 22. What if Yahawah, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? And that's Esau, man. You know, they made to be destroyed.
Yeah, I got something because, you know, on top of that, this so-called devil man, which is why he's called the devil, the deceiver, he went and tried to flip it around and make himself look like he's the holy people of the Lord, like he's you know, the most humble people on the planet. And he tried to make us look like we're the dirtiest people, we're the wicked people. He calls black, you know? But yet, he's the one that put the drugs into our community with the help of a few sellout niggas, you know, to make us look bad every time we're on the news. You know, he's the one that dropped guns off, all right? But ultimately, he is that vessel of dishonor. And this is Isaiah 32:5. It says, the vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the troll said to be bountiful. And who's that vile person? The vile is going into, you know, being wicked.
Right.
And it says, the vile person shall no more be called liberal. And the word liberal there in the Hebrew is nabayah, which means inclined, willing, or noble, generous. You know, see, noble in mind and character. See, so that wicked person is right now being called the noble person. You know? He has the most character. He's the most generous. He's the most honest. That's who they're saying that the wicked is right now, man.
Hey, real quick, God, for vow, you speaking, I looked up vow, Hebrew word nabal, right? And it says foolish, senseless fool.
Yeah. That's true. There's more. I went to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. It says morally despicable.
Woo! Well, hey, look.
Wow.
Hey, down here at the lexicon, it says stupid, foolish.
Yeah.
Oh, abandoned, wicked. It say wicked.
Yeah.
And he's got the nerve, and these nations think that he's the one that's noble and generous, but he's really faking it, man. You know, matter of fact, all in high school, when you were in the world, you taught that the reason why Americans all across the world is because they're helping to make the earth a better place.
Right.
Then it's come to find out that they're just taking people's resources, man.
Exactly. It says physically repulsive, of little worth or account, disgustingly or utterly bad. You know. Hey, you had the Gates the Kill Gates tag team going all over the earth, you know, injecting people with stuff and making them sterile, you know, out there in Africa, out there in India, you know, to the point where like they kicked them out of that country, man. They can't go back there, you know. And now these people are in charge of everybody's health and safety. You must be out of your damn mind.
Yeah, another one says especially impulsive, ungodly.
Yeah.
That's Esau all the way.
Yep. Yeah, Psalms 10. Hey, that's why brothers videos be getting deleted when they bring out Psalms the 10th chapter, man. Because
Yeah.
Psalms 10 gets in your asses, man. You know, you're the definition of the ungodly. Anybody got it? I got
Yeah, I'll
one.
read this again.
Okay.
Isaiah 32:5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful.
And that's how these people define themselves now. A lot of them, you know, the liberals that are pretty much taking over. Liberals have taken over. You know, really, if you look at it and you break it down, the difference, because you've seen this back in ancient Rome as well with the plebeians and the patricians. But basically, if you break down the Republicans want to keep the Constitution the way it is, and Democrats, liberals want to change it. That's basically in a nutshell the nitty gritty of what they want to do, and the way that the liberals want to do it. You know, hashtag cancel culture, Me Too movement, hashtag pride, all these different things. You know, and just turn everything absolutely upside down. You know, so it's funny that the scriptures mention the liberals like that because that's exactly what's happening now. You know, the liberals are in control and going buck wild, and they're in control of the media again, bringing out that media. You know,
when we go into Revelations 13, all right, when you go from like verse 14 to 15 and 16, you see how the devil increasingly gets oppressive, trying to get you, you know what I'm saying, to comply unto the image, and then those that don't comply shall be put to death.
Yep.
You know, going into I had brought out in camp through the elder Yahawah, he was going into how you got the 5 phases of the max compliance. All right, phase 1 goes into voluntary, phase 2 incentives, phase 3 private sector punishment. So you see, as the phase goes on, this devil gets, you know what I'm saying, he starts to show his horns more.
yeah.
We in
Right.
phase 2 right now.
I'll read the scripture since you mentioned it.
Hey.
Revelation chapter.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of sort of like the remember the list that came out in 2020, the Rockefeller handbook or something like that. Yeah.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, representing the duality of rulership. And you just mentioned the devil showing his horns. 2 horns like a lamb. Like a lamb being like, in God we trust.
Right.
Oh, we're
Humble.
we're here to save the world. We want to, we want to police the world in a good way and help everybody.
Yeah.
That's being like a lamb. Trying to make yourself to be like you were Yahawashi or something.
Well, it's compared. Esau is definitely compared to the snake,
Yeah.
because certain snakes can hide themselves, like the rattlesnake. The rattlesnake looks like it's a treat to a certain rodent.
Right.
And as soon as it get there, the rattlesnake snaps the rodent head,
Yeah.
So that's Esau. Esau acts like he's this pure, proper, doing everything the right way. The way he drive his vehicle, put 2 hands on the wheel. He got his head straight. He never looks left. He got a, he's everything about him is so perfect. But in our reality, he's a devil.
Yeah.
He's a demon, an evil man,
Yeah. And that shows the balance that the Lord has, because our Lord Yahawashi was compared to a serpent. He was that serpent made of brass that was a representation of Yahawashi that Moses held up to the people.
Which proves the lesson Elder Apostle Bar did when he said, I forgot how the title went, but he was saying that we have to learn wickedness, to understand the righteousness, something to that effect. Because really, we got to be as snakes too. We got to be as dragons too.
Yeah.
And that's going both sides.
That's right.
They do it in the evil manner. We do it in the righteous manner.
Yeah.
Showing you the balance.
That's right.
Yeah, and them snakes, man, a snake can be very hard to catch, man. Like if you run into something, man, in the woods, and you see one, you just happen to look at one, you like look at you like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And he get the fuck low out of there, real fucking quick, out of nowhere. Then they had the slithers little rocks, so they very hard to catch, and that's why the Yahawashi even said, if possible, they would deceive the very elect. See, because you gotta really be on point when you're dealing with these devils, with these Edomites, man. And that's how we gotta be too. Whether we in the work field, we gotta, deal with wisdom, man.
Hey, what the apostle say? if I'm mistaken, it's like if I said wrong, they not prolific. If I'm saying that right, they not so prolific.
Yeah.
They just do the same. They good. They just do something that works,
Right.
but they're not creative as you think they are. Like
innovative.
yeah, if I'm saying that right. Yeah, Apostle saying that.
Yeah, they follow the same format.
Right.
Because it's been working this whole time, and they can't even deviate from it because they don't know what else to do.
Right.
Except for what works.
So the Lord gives us this knowledge and understanding, and tapping into what they do, but they manipulate it.
Yeah.
Like looking up the meaning of words. If you know the meaning of words, you can get out of a whole lot of traps.
Yeah.
You're getting out of mostly all the traps. Depends on how much you know.
Yeah.
You know, just like dealing with the courts,
Oh, yeah.
what they call it, black law. If you know how to speak in the court the right way without, giving yourself over to them consenting,
Yeah.
making consent. Because, like I told brothers last week, I wish I could have put that video together. It was one of these guys. He had his own little platform. And he was speaking about Hassan Campbell and stuff. But he's I think a friend or something like that. But he was saying something very edifying. He was going into consent.
Yeah.
Basically like everything they do, they want you to give your consent. This is why they able, just like dealing with demons. Sometimes demons can't fuck with you unless you invite them.
Right, the man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like as long as you don't invite them, they can't get there. Of course, the Lord do everything, but that's just a form of understanding. But consent, he was saying, because I guess the dude Hassan Campbell going through something with his children or something like that, and he was trying to give him advice, and he was saying like you fucking up because, like for an example, the woman, Dyfus came to the house, wanted to see the kids and all that, which he should have never had done if they didn't have like a paperwork where they had to. But he said they could, so they did what they did. But then the catch was when she was leaving, she was like, well, we're going to be back in the next 6 months. And when you say yeah, that allows them to come back. But if you say no, we're done,
Right.
and say no, I'm not approving of that and walk off, they not really allowed. But Esau forces, like another example. When I was going to, I was working, Beth Israel, what you call that? Before the job, before you get the job? Orientation. And the lady was trying to say, she was saying it in words about taking the flu jab. And she didn't word it as if, it's a choice. She worded it as if you have to. So being me, I raised my hand. I said, hold on, we got to take that. She said, oh, well, we don't have to, but we recommend you do, and this and that. And it'll be nice if you do and keep everybody. And I was like, so we don't got to take that, right? She said, no, it's not mandatory, but we recommend it. And I was like, look at this Edomite.
Yeah.
If I was simple, I would think I would have to go get it because the way she's wording it, yeah.
That's how it is. Like one of the words they use, like, yeah, this is highly recommended. Like, I was talking to this store, this chick, and I was asking like, you had to get the little dab. She was like, no, they don't force it, but they say that it's highly, and she like highlight like a highly recommended, and she wrote it in all caps, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they kind of try to pressure you
It's
without,
force. That's
forcing
force,
you,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To do it.
Yeah.
So Revelation 13:11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, going into that draconian law, which is harsh punishments. That's going into what the brother was reading, the five phases, and that's ultimately going into the draconian law. And real quick, because the brother mentioned consented, 2 Ezra 16:68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision. And I remember years ago we did that lesson, they shall be had in derision. Derision meaning they shall be had in confusion. They shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. And that's the point right there.
Yeah, but the consent part,
Yeah, that's the point.
Here it is. You just like what's going on now. They want your consent. They want you to voluntarily give over your right and let this be a power over you. That's what the mind control is doing now.
Yeah.
They want people to voluntarily give over everything they own and let the mind control be your power. But you have to consent unto it. The elites know, but that's why they come with tricks. They come with agendas. They come with this type of way, to sneak it in there, because once it's been established, then that's it. There's no going backwards. You can't say, oh, no, I see what this about. I want out. Nah. Just like you can't take out the jabby jabbo, you ain't gonna be able to take out the mark. The marky mark.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the thing too. Yeah, once you take it, you
Yeah,
can't.
yay is yay or your nay is nay.
Yeah.
You know?
You can't just be like, oh, you know what? You can't get rid of that once it's in your body.
Yeah.
You can't stop it.
Right.
You know? So you gotta make smart moves and decisions, man, and stand by what you believe in, because once you take it, you can't untake it.
Yep.
You can't untake it.
You got movies like Kingsman, you know, The Cell, you know, where they put these different mechanisms in you. The show, The Unlisted on Netflix, brothers definitely should watch those. Divergent, you know, it's literally trying to tell you right in your face what he's gonna do, and a lot of that is because a lot of these producers, they're big time and they hang around the elites. Because even Aaron Russo, he was a movie producer, and they hang around the elites, and the elites tell them. So what they'll try and do is the whistle blow, and they'll make a movie about what the elites is telling them. And then that's why you got movies like that, man, in most cases, man. And they show you that they, put the chip in you, and then they're able to control you. Especially check out the show The Unlisted. They're able to they put on a TV, they put something getting killed, and it was like, oh, ew, what is that? And then they turned down his disgust, and they turned down his emotions, and then it was like, oh shit. And then they mellowed out, man. Right. So he's literally gonna be able to control you, man. Yeah. So you can't say, all right, chill. You're already gonna be brainwashed through the chip. Right. You're gonna be electromagnetically brainwashed already.
Fried.
And ain't gonna be nothing you're gonna be able to do about it. And then when you want to turn it off and let you live, even Aaron Russo said that, when they turn you off, you know, and then they cut off your money or your funds. When they want to turn it off, they'll let you get back to your regular life.
Yeah. And if they turn you off in a system like that, you basically going rogue. So if you come into any contact with police, with the taskmasters, you're going to go to jail because they can't identify you. You know, I remember years ago they were saying you can't walk around here without identification. I remember one police officer said, I was in the world. You know, I mess with you and shit. We identify, in the world, you just sitting there with a group of people, group of niggas, and police, all y'all turn around, get on the wall. And shit, where your ID at? You be like, man, you never walk around with ID. Why you ain't got ID? Yeah. And for a long time, I was like, yo, this crazy. We can't walk around with ID. I thought that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they really want to identify you. So imagine a world and a system like that, and they turn you off. You're gonna become a criminal. You know?
Hey, when you go to motor vehicles, man, that shit is hell. If anybody had to go to motor vehicles, especially over here in Jersey, the shit is vexation of spirit. And I'm noticing now, like I had to actually go 2 days straight, and they said as of May 1st this year, 2021, that you gotta have 6 points of ID. Now the 6 points could be a passport, could be a birth certificate, it could be a social security card, it could even be a credit card. So all of that going into the word, right. I can't say that word,
right? But
it goes into the word charagma, which goes into the word grapho, which the word grapho meaning writings. So all of that is going to be eventually implemented because that shit is vexation of spirit. Plus, who's going to carry around all that information? That's dangerous.
And you know something too, since you talking about that, I can see you lose your ID, you got to go down there and get six points.
Oh, gosh.
One of those 6 points is going to have to be showing identification that you've been zapped, you've been zapped up. And then you never been zapped, you're not gonna ever be able to get that 6 point to get your ID.
Yeah. And they said by October that real ID is gonna be mandatory.
See, so shit about to get real out here, man. It's real already, but it's gonna get hard.
So the name itself, real ID. So what's all the other IDs?
Fake.
Hey, also when they send these kids back to school this next fall semester, and they said that they gotta have a jab to get in. It's gonna be on and popping, man. They already protesting down there in Texas that their asses is getting fired without taking a jab. So wait till their kids gotta get it, But I got something. So Ezekiel 28:1, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, which this represents you Edomites now, because y'all fulfilling the same lot, man. It says, thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said. And thou hast said, I am a power, I sit in the seat of the Most High, in the midst of the seas. And you know that the seas, according to Revelation 13, and when it said the beast came up out of the sea, and then that's in Revelation 17, I will go into the sea represents the nations and kindreds and tongues. You know, it says, I am a power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power. I'll read it verbatim. I am a God. I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. See, because he thinks that when he implements this RFID chip, that he's going to be your power. You know? And that's why verse 3 says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from you.
That's funny you mentioned. Thou art wiser than Daniel, and with the whole chip and everything, and mind control. Brothers was mentioning mind control a little while back. This came out two days ago. RT News. It says, peace of mind, question mark. Man incapable of feeling fear after having part of his brain surgically removed. So this was a guy that was suffering from anxiety, and he was having seizures because of the anxiety. And what the doctors did, they inserted probes into his brain, all right, and located the source of the part of the brain that generates fear, and they removed it, and now he doesn't have any fear of anything anymore. He's walking around like a straight stoic.
Well, that's stupid.
Yeah,
That's stupid because fear is also a defense.
exactly.
You dummy.
Yeah.
You don't fear nothing. You're gonna walk across the street and get hit by a damn car.
Exactly. Yep.
Like he puts all these little magnets on your head, and then he runs a little test, tries to scare you, and he sees what type of what part of your brain lights up. You say, oh, that's where the fear is at.
Yeah.
And then you want to go in there with little tweezers like a freaking clown, and then try and.
And but that's the but that goes into he is wiser than Daniel. Also it goes into they encourage themselves in an evil manner.
Yeah.
And the heart is that the mind is deep.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you can discover where part of your brain is where the fear can be detected, you can discover in the part of the brain where you feel sensation, where you feel all types of different emotions, and trigger and pinpoint that through the use of electrodes. All right, if you insert a chip in your brain, you know, that's why the scriptures say in your hand or in your forehead. You know,
If Elon Musk is advertising Neuralink to put chips inside your brain, and everybody ain't going crazy. I mean, everybody is allowing that. Ain't nobody giving him hell about that. They know the brain.
Yeah.
They know where to put that chip at. And they show you, when you look his stuff up, I got a video on it, and they show you where they have to put the chip at. So if like you got 10 people and they want to get this Neuralink chip, they all going to have that chip in a certain part of their brain, all in the same space. Yeah. Because that part of the brain is where they trying to manipulate. Yeah. So they know the brain.
Right.
That's how they figured out the VMAT. With the Arabs, man. With the Arabs they was practicing on. They probably put on some of their prayers, man. You know, and so a part of the light, their brain lights up. He said, all right, that's where they worship the Most High. And then they zap that part out or something.
Exactly. Let me read a little bit of this. A man who struggled with anxiety claims that he lost the ability to feel fear after undergoing brain surgery, giving him stoic powers when faced with life's many dangers such as muggers and spiders. Jody Smith, 32, says that he's not afraid of anything anymore, an unexpected result of having his right amygdala cut out, part of the brain. The New York City resident suffered from brief panic attacks. Let me jump down. It said he spent 2 years trying to treat his seizures with medication, but to no avail. Brain surgery was his last hope before the procedure could go ahead. Doctors implanted probes inside Smith's brain so they can locate where the seizures were coming from. Smith was then instructed to intentionally have a seizure so that the doctors could pinpoint the areas of his brains that needed to be scooped out.
So basically, he knew that he's having seizures because of his anxiety.
Yeah.
So he don't know how to get rid of anxiety. The only way he can get rid of anxiety is to take out fear, because he probably went to therapy and they asking him, he broke his thoughts down and what he think it is, and they diagnosed it. So what his plans is, Esau, well, get it out of me.
Yeah.
Get it out of me.
Exactly.
That's like a damn movie. Get it out of me now, and take it out, doc.
Yeah.
Take out the fear. You know,
Yeah.
only Esau, man.
Only Esau. I mean, everything is removal. You know,
Yeah.
tonsils.
Yeah.
Remove
Man.
your tonsils,
Appendix.
remove your appendix.
He had a demon on him, so
Yeah,
I guess his man.
Wisdom tooth.
He had a demon on him.
toe.
That's all that is. Anxiety. That's a demon. There's a demon on you, plaguing your mind.
Yeah.
So you think you defeated the Most High? The Most High gonna put 7, 20, 10, 14 more, 21 more demons on you, man. Well, scriptures, you know.
You know, all you gotta do is Google foods that help anxiety.
Right.
And it'll say blueberries.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Strawberries.
Yeah.
Such and such. Change your diet, man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, we ain't physicians and doctors, but some things just
Yeah.
put 2 and 2 together, dude.
We're not. Say it again as a disclaimer. If something wrong with you, go see your doc. We're not giving medical misinformation.
That's
Shit.
why
Talking about scoop it out.
Yeah.
Scoop that part
Yeah,
out.
scoop
So,
that
like
part
I'm not
out.
talking about, like talking about ice cream. And that's your brain. Scoop it out.
You take out your tonsils, take out your appendix, and all these things. He figured you don't need it. Your wisdom teeth, as we were speaking earlier, all these things you don't need, but you grew it in your body.
Exactly. Like the Most High put it there by mistake. Oops, we don't need this.
Okay, in the car
it's an
then.
extra part.
Take in the car. Take out your
Like a spare
motherfucking go oil filters
Yeah.
and take out some things in the car and watch the car start in a couple of months or weeks or days
Yeah.
or hours
Right away.
right away.
Yeah.
You're gonna notice your car needed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know, and it's funny. Nothing is ever there's nothing that's ever useless on the car. Like one time, under the front rear wheel, they have like the underbody of the part of the car, the little piece of plastic
Yeah.
that like the wheel well underneath the
Yeah.
thing. A lot of times. That will fall off somebody's car, and it'll be like, oh, it's just a piece of plastic. It doesn't mean anything. Meanwhile, you're driving. Next time it rains, and the water that pops up splashes into your engine and hits into the back of your headlights, and you look and be like, why is my right headlight out? Oh well, because because your wheel well was taken out. And now you were driving in the rain, and so one thing that's missing is going to cause problems for other things.
And that's a $20 problem.
Exactly. You know.
Now you turned it into a $2,000 problem.
Right. Yeah. Something that you thought that was small and insignificant is very important. You know.
And I got something. This is Isaiah 32:6. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord. So use something else. If you're gonna order error against the Most High,
That's right.
you're gonna tell the Most High he's going off.
Yeah.
When the Most High said, "When I was alone, who gave me counsel?" You know.
Yeah.
And now here you come. Now here your clown ass come talking about, nah, Lord, Moses is a good thing. Love is love.
Yeah. Love.
Like Godfrey was saying, man.
Right.
Oh, you don't, and like you saying, you don't need your appendix. You really don't need your your wisdom tooth, man. See? So it says, it's an utter error against the Lord, man. You crazy, man. And guess what? A lot of 2/3 join in on that. Because they have vain opinions, man.
Yeah.
You know, where they, I think stuff should be like this, stuff should be like that. Women should be able to do this and do that. But they don't, and that's what scriptures say. But they seek not unto the Lord, the God of Israel, man, for their problems. So it says, and to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments also of the churl are evil. See, and that woman, man, I was listening to earlier talking about she rather take advice from somebody who, has the certificates on their wall than an armchair physician.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what about what the scriptures say? What about the Georgia Guidestones? What about how Esau is the wicked? What about never trust our enemy? What about his track record?
Yeah.
All right, what about that? Can you answer that?
Yeah, these people are incentivized to push a particular agenda. If they push a particular product, all right, that was manufactured by somebody by big pharma, okay, and they get a cut of it, they're incentivized, all right, to find a reason to give that to you. Case in point, all right, with the whole I don't even know what to call it, man, with the whole C thing that's been happening for the last year and a half. You don't know what I'm talking about. You've been under a rock, all right. It was incentivized for the hospitals to diagnose you with that because they would get bonus money for each patient that had it. So a dude came in with a gunshot wound. Dude crashed on a damn motorcycle or got hit by a bus. You look at the morgue and on his toe tag, he died from the sea. Because what, they get money from it. PCR tests. We talk about these PCR tests all the time. They weren't even created for that purpose. They weren't even created for that purpose. That's why studies show across the seas that it's 97% inaccurate. Might as well be 100. And that's the 3% is just blind luck. But what they want to give that, they want to bring that out because what they get incentivized, all right, for diagnosing and treating that problem.
Yeah, I got a preset, right?
These doctors are wicked, man.
This is Romans chapter 1 and 22. It says, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man.
I listen to opinion news sometimes. Certain people are like alternative media that aren't a part of the mainstream. And one cat that said it. His name is Dan Bongino. I was listening to him, and he said something that stuck with me. He said the most dangerous thing in the world is smart, stupid people. And these are people that are smart enough to get into the offices that they're at, to have to grind in school long enough to have to inherit the title of doctor or administrator of this, and in the White House of this, that, and the third. And then they make these stupid opinions that people have to follow.
Right.
And they lead everybody into a damn ditch, man.
Yeah.
And
Esau's good for that because the way that he goes on television and he starts telling you how you should be, how this, I remember years ago there was a lot of shows coming out at this time, and I remember they were saying you're not supposed to hit your children, and they would bring this lady to the house, and they'll show first the parents having trouble with the children, and then the Edomite would come to the house and she'd be strict, but you ain't supposed to hit your child. Like, we're not Edomites.
Yeah.
We're not your freaking pets. Like, we're totally different nation of people with another culture. We're not y'all. We don't gotta live like y'all, but Esau wants the whole world to be like him. Yeah. He wants to control the world. He wants everybody to have his mannerism. Right.
Yeah, last week, precepts.
Yeah, I'm good on precepts.
Well, I'll finish this real quick. It says, and change the glory of the uncorruptible God into the image made like to corruptible men, and to birds, and to four-footed beasts, and creepy things. Wherefore, Yahawah also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. And that's going into that, the hope, the mojo, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Most High made perfect.
Yeah.
He gave you the herbs. He gave you all the herbs you need. That's perfection. But here you go. You add this, 18 syllable fucking whatever word to it. To dumb it down, and it's not even, it's not as potent as it would be if you would just have left it in its purity, and now, now you're now you're expert, at healing people. Yeah. But the scriptures say a physician killeth off a long disease. Here it is, you added diseases, man.
Yeah, so with that, we hope the segment was edifying. Like to give all praises, honor, and glory
to Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, BaHaSham, Qadash.
That belongs to the process as GreatMillStone and Shalom. Select our dead, doing river faithful and love and truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom to the comment boys as well. Shalom.
Shalom.